我是庄文。
我是 Elle Mills。
你
叫什么名字？
你叫什么名字？我叫my Chinese name is Jin Saixin.
Oh, mine's Eileen.
太好了。
With Matt King and Mike Sheffer.
Okay, we've got the gossip out of the way. You guys can't listen to that, but Elle Mills is in the house.
Hello.
It is so good to see you.
I know, it's been a while. Like
way too long.
I almost feel like, was it the last time my birthday party?
I was thinking about that before you got here. I'm like, when was the last time? It had to have been your birthday party.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And I thought, but we kept thinking, we'll see each other. We'll see each other.
I'm always like pleasantly surprised when someone's like, do you want to hang out? Because I'm vaccinated. I'm like, we're still good. I'm glad. Okay, let's hang out. I'm down.
I know the weekend will come up and I'm like, I need to hang out with people. And then I'm like, I get anxiety before reaching out to people because I'm like, is it weird just to ask to hang out?
Oh,
like,
I know.
Are we still good? Like, it's just the flow of things has been different. But you know, when you finally get reunited.
I know.
And can I just say, holy shit. And I know it's like a small part, but you were in Mitchell's versus the Machines.
Oh, yes. I keep forgetting. Yes.
So I watched it, and for the people who haven't seen it, it's an amazing animated movie on Netflix with a star-studded cast, like Danny McBride, Maya
John
Rudolph,
Legend.
John Legend,
Eric
Conan
Andre.
O'Brien, Blake Griffin. And so I'm watching the movie. I'm enjoying it. I'm like completely caught off guard by how much I'm enjoying it. And like with every movie, I'm always like a big Wikipedia. I got to Google the cast. I got to see who's voicing all these people. And sure enough, you are on the roster
I know.
of this entire cast. I see Elle Mills, and I'm like, hold the fucking phone.
Is it the same Elle Mills that I know?
Yeah.
Yes, it's her face just grinning there. Like, and then I realized because I saw on your Instagram you had posted about it like kind of a week or two before.
Yes.
And you just captioned it like so good. And I thought it was like, she must have like a small role in some little indie animated short. I'm like, good for you. I didn't realize it was Mitchell's versus the Machines. How'd that happen?
Literally a couple years ago, the director, Michael Rianda, who is the creative director on Gravity Falls.
Yes, which I love Gravity Falls. I haven't even watched most of it, but I enjoy the episodes I see.
It's such a, So basically, he's a super cool dude, and he reached out because the character in the film is like a aspiring filmmaker who makes little YouTube videos and stuff. And so he found my videos. I guess his wife showed him. It was the slumber party with my brother's exes, where I surprised my brother with all his exes. And he's like, he loved it. He loved the style. And he was just like, they started binge watching my videos, and they kind of wanted to like base the character a little bit off of like my persona.
Yeah, they wanted like a real video creator to represent the daughter's friends.
Yes. And so they like I think I actually auditioned to voice like the actual one. This is like 2017, 2018.
Okay.
Didn't get it, but then they reached back out and they're like, hey, like we really want you to be a part of this because you kind of were a part of like the creative process. So I got to do a couple like background noises and stuff, and I did so good.
Is that it? Is it just so
that's
good?
what I wrote. So good.
Did you have to do multiple takes of it?
I did.
Like,
I think a couple.
So good.
Yes.
So good.
I was so nervous. I was just
You would
like,
expect
so
to go.
good.
They're just gonna like come in on the mic. Good take on that one. Let's try it a little differently this time. Could
Honestly,
we be a bit more enthusiastic for your.
Yes. No. Honestly, I think like I did it so good, and then we did the rest, and they're like, maybe let's go back to so good. Now that you've warmed up, and I'm like, shit, I really fucked up.
It's like something after you keep repeating over and over. It sounds like you're speaking a foreign language. You're like, so good. Like, what do these two words mean?
Did you record more lines, or you knew that this was going to be your big moment
That
in
was
the
the
movie?
big line, and then there was like I don't know, like crowd shouting and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was the
Did
main
you get to
one.
have a say in how your character looked? Or when it came out, you're like, oh, okay. That's...
No, yeah, they sent it over like a sketch of it. But and then that was really it. I'm so like, I don't know. I am booked. But I love it. I feel like a day where I don't do anything, I'm like kind of like in my chair. I'm like, I feel like I should go out and do something right now.
But you did go out last night.
I did go out. Actually, yesterday, YouTube's like doing this huge like Pride event thing, and like I'm doing a video where I was gonna go on a date with a YouTuber.
You're making your own queer rom-com.
Yes.
I heard about this. Tell us what the project is.
Yes. So so YouTube's like trying to raise money for the Trevor Project. And so I think they got a couple creators to do like a stunt, and my stunt was I'm gonna go on a date with a YouTuber influencer that the audience chooses. So I went yesterday with Brittany Broski.
Oh, so she's the pick.
Yeah, she's the pick.
Okay, because I was kind of prepping some questions here because I saw you had posted it.
Oh,
And I'm
yes.
like, who do you think it's gonna be? It's looking like Brittany.
Yes, no, for sure.
Oh,
She was like, top for sure. I think the other one was Rebecca Black. I would have been down. I love Rebecca, but I think Brittany was the perfect.
The perfect. Okay, so you did that yesterday?
Yeah, I did that yesterday.
When does the video come out?
June, end of June.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not too like
All
tight
right.
lip about it. It's
Are
fine.
Are we allowed to say that that's who got picked? Is that
Yeah,
public?
I'm not too bothered about it.
So, but you went out. You had a day yesterday with Brittany.
Mhm, we got really drunk. Because I wanted to do like parasailing or like some crazy adventure stuff, but she was what?
We went sailing
no
yesterday.
way!
Yeah, we could have saw each other like out on the ocean. We're like, Elle, Brittany, like,
imagine.
yeah.
But no, she's like. She wasn't really down. I gave her a list of things like these are potential date ideas. She's like no.
And then said yes to one, but we won't say what it was.
Yes, I probably shouldn't say.
Yeah,
I'm such like I'll tell you guys anything.
Give them a tease.
Yes. We will. I mean, it was on my story. We did take a helicopter to the date location.
Whoa.
So that was fun.
The date location.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of like.
It's coming out on your channel? Or?
Yes, my channel. Yeah.
And this is all for a good cause, though.
Yes, for the Trevor Project. I think it's being premiered at because YouTube's doing a huge Pride live stream for Pride this year, and so I think it's gonna be premiered there, and then I'll show up on my channel.
Badass.
Yeah.
And I can't. That's awesome. Like you and Brittany are friends, and like
I know.
we've seen Brittany like a lot, but it's so cool when like your friends start linking up, and you're like,
She's really cool.
She's
I really
so
fuck with
easygoing.
Brittany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're younger, you have that fear of like your friend groups colliding and like interacting. And you always want to keep your different, like your camp friends and your school friends and your after school friends. You want to keep them all separate. But then you realize as you get older, like when you merge your friends, the common denominator is you. And if you get along with them and you get along with them, it's probably everyone's going to get along together. And it's like, I would encourage.
I mean, I don't know because I feel like in high school I was friends with like I was the type of kid who was friends with everyone. Like at the cafeteria I'd be jumping from table to table. But maybe it's because I'm like more of a chameleon and I could like not adjust my personality, but you know, it's like, but I definitely noticed because my dream is like having all my friends and family in one place, which is why like my 21st, like I loved it. All my hometown friends flew out, London friends, you know, everyone, it was all in one place. But that's a lot of different personality clashes. And I guess what I've learned recently is just some people aren't meant to be friends.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's tough when like one creator friend you have has beef with another
Oh,
one.
yes.
And it's like you feel like you're like cheating on one of them. Like, I'm sorry. And then you want them to like address the beef. Let's all get along. They're like, no, I'm not showing up because that person's there. And you're like, and you are one of the most sincere, nicest people. Like,
Stop.
I would say online, but of course offline. Like,
Thank you.
You were killing it and still are killing it. But when you first came on the scene, I'm like, oh, this girl is the next big thing. She probably has so many people who are trying to talk to her. And you like reached out and were like, oh my gosh, I love you. You're great.
Dude.
And I'm like, really? Like, whoa. I mean, you don't need to be like looking at me right now. Go focus on everyone else who wants to talk to you. And you were so sincere and nice.
Thank you. I mean, I thought you were so sincere and nice because I met you at my first ever YouTube event. I wasn't even invited. Like I got a full access pass.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's Playlist Live DC 2017. And I remember being like, Matt King's here? Holy shit.
I was like, Elle Mills came all the way from Canada? Young Elle in your little Coca-Cola shirt?
Yeah, oh my god, that's right, dude. So it's just a weird time. But no, I remember being so ecstatic. That entire like I was on a high because I was such a huge YouTube fan growing up. And so like I was going up to everyone and be like, I'm such a huge fan. Can I get a photo?
That's the best is like your first like internet event weekend. Like that's where you meet everybody, your friendships bond. I mean, that's how Zane, Carly, and all of us met in like one night.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Like
And
at a VidCon?
Yeah, it was like at a VidCon. after party for like collab at the House of Blues in Disney. I just moved out to LA, but we had known each other online, and like Zane came up to me and was like, "Dude, I love your stuff. We gotta hang out." I'm like, "You're asking for my number right now?" It was really cool. And now you have your own podcast.
Yes, I do.
Crazy Stupid Fangirls.
Yes.
Wait, dude, we're not gonna tease them on.
You can. Yeah, why not?
Oh yeah, because this is kind of like a deal. This whole
yes,
this whole podcast exchange is
Yes,
because
It's a transaction.
Elle slid into my DMs and was like, "Matt, I have a podcast. Would love to have you on it." And I was like, 100% I'm down, but you gotta come on my podcast. And I had been wanting you, but because that like it's post like COVID, I'm just like, are we still friends? I don't want to hit you up to ask for a favor.
Yeah.
You know?
I've been just kind of fucking doing it.
Yeah,
I've
That's what I've been
asking
telling them.
left
Everyone
and
wants to
right.
hang out. Everyone's
Yes.
looking for an excuse. And it's like, I feel like it's easier to hang out with people if you're like, hey, do you want to like shoot some content together versus
Yes.
just like, you want to get lunch? Like, no. But if you do, let's make some content. Creator people love making content.
It's also a good
know.
icebreaker because then you
Yeah.
do it and then you're like, hey, like, let's go get drinks after or something like.
Tell us about your podcast.
Yes.
What's the
premise?
Yeah, but who knows? Some of the people listening to this are people who came from your podcast.
Yes.
So sorry
Hello,
for telling you
if you
stuff
are.
you already know.
Yeah, so it's called Crazy Stupid Fangirls. I'm like a huge pop culture fan. Been a huge fangirl all my life, especially
Same.
for like YouTube. Yeah, that's why I wanted you on because I'm like, you fit. It's like it's gonna be a fun episode.
We'll geek out on some stuff for sure.
And so I kind of like I was like approached about doing a podcast. I was like, it'd be fun to just like kind of fangirl out because I never get to do that on my channel. And so we have like a guest on every week, and I don't know, it's like different every time. We had Karan Barar, he's from Jessie on Disney Channel, so it was cool to talk about, you know, growing up as a Disney Channel star for like a decade. You know, just like
And
like
you were a big fan of Jessie?
yeah, I'm just a big Disney Channel fan, and I was just like, so do the Disney Channel kids hang out? Like, do you guys like party together? Do you fuck with the Nickelodeon kids? You know what I mean? Like, so like it's that, and then also like talking to like YouTubers and asking about like the 2014 era, like the British invasion. I don't know if you guys remember that. Were you guys big on like big YouTube fans?
No, actually I wasn't. I mean, I watched YouTube videos like back when like YouTube was first like a website.
Okay,
So it was
like
like
Smosh?
Philip DeFranco,
Okay, yeah.
Smosh, all of that stuff, like the Shaytards.
Okay, yes.
All of that.
Yes.
I used to keep up with it then. And then when I went off to college, I kind of was too busy studying and was not watching YouTube. I was watching Vine and stuff because it was just quicker.
Oh,
And
yes.
it's on your phone. And you
Yeah, it was.
I
like,
never got into Vine.
See,
Me
that's
neither.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you even have the app?
I had it, but I never really looked at it. I know that I only have like one favorite Vine, and then that's really it. I couldn't like people who quote Vines to me. I'm like, it goes right over my head.
Yeah, you're like,
It was such a short amount of time that Vine was a thing
It
too, that if you were like
was.
busy for those like 3 months, you just missed this entire generation of internet culture. And
Yeah.
like all these references, like I didn't have Vine. I was in college when it came out, and I'll download it like next week or something, and then I just never downloaded it. So like when I met Matt and all these kids who are like big Vine guys, I literally didn't know anything about Vine. But I will say it is worth going on YouTube and looking up like the funniest Vine compilations, because there'll be like a 10-minute compilation, but you'll get like 60 videos.
you'll get a crash course on
It's-
all the
yeah,
references.
they're so good. Like I get why Vine was popping.
It kind of transferred over to TikTok though.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen that Vine. The
Beyonce.
Beyonce one, yes.
Yeah, but it's sometimes they'll put another one of my Vines as like
The thumbnail? Yeah.
Just weird. But it's also weird looking back at Vines because I cringe about it because it just 6 seconds seems so silly.
It is.
Like
It is. That's the point.
and it's just in square mode. It just looks like this
Yeah.
ancient artifact blip. And it's already like pixelated down because it's been processed and re-uploaded so many times.
Wait, was it always 6 seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never extended?
Nope.
No.
And
Oh
it
my
always
god.
loops, too.
Kind of impressive if that's like really hard to do.
Well, then towards the end, they added on like it was almost kind of like Instagram TV, like
Okay, yes.
oh, if you want to continue watching this, press a button, and it was like a longer form of the clip.
Yeah.
But that by the time they introduced that, it was already like on its way out. But I don't know. I'm kind of glad. I'm sad Vine ended, but I'm glad because it makes you realize that the internet is never the same. It's
not permanent.
Oh yeah, it's constantly changing. So you got to be on your toes and be prepared.
I know, it's crazy.
But you mentioned the British invasion of YouTube.
Oh yes,
what
my
is
favorite?
this?
Zoe, Alfie, Troy, like
I guess
Casper
you could say
Lee.
Will.
Yeah, Will was part of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, okay. I think we're talking about like a World War event, like something that was talked about in history class.
No.
The British invasion.
I mean, this should be talked in history class. It was iconic.
Was Dodie involved in that?
She was. Yeah, I'd say all of them are all kind of like.
Yeah, and
oh my
friends.
God, that's right.
Yes.
We have a
lot
that's
of mutuals.
crazy,
Adam Melcher is my roommate.
I love Adam's music. I swear to God, my Spotify Wrapped, I know he's gonna be number one. I listen.
Really?
Yes,
wow.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah, he said to say hi when I told him you were gonna be on the podcast.
Oh my gosh,
said, tell him I
say
said
hello.
hi.
We
Okay.
all gotta hang out.
Yes,
we gotta
please.
hang out more.
Yes,
okay,
I'm
this
down.
this is the start of something new.
Yeah.
Okay. It feels
I'm
so
down.
right.
We'll be right back to this conversation with Elle Mills in just a second, but first, a quick word from today's sponsor.
This episode of Hoot and a Half is brought to you by Uncommon Goods. Uncommon Goods is, honestly, you have to check it out for yourself. It's an online shop with totally unique and unexpected gifts that you wouldn't be able to find anywhere else on the internet. And with Father's Day coming up on June 20th, don't forget, now is the perfect time to check out their website.
Here are a few of our favorites that we've purchased recently. The first is this glass container that looks like a plastic zip bag.
I mean, how cool is that? I spent so long on this website trying to figure out what I really, really liked and what spoke to me. And this one looked totally unique. So we filled up some Mentos in it. We always have it on our set. And every time people come in, they're like, wait, what? Is that a real bag? No, it's a glass sculpture.
Look at how cute this glass jar is. It literally looks like a plastic zip bag, but it's glass. And the other thing is this beautiful, cute, handmade wooden serving bowl. You can put nuts, chips. We have a little granola situation going on in there, and they have different
animals.
Yeah.
Different animals you can choose from. We got the elephant. I think there was a giraffe, and I'm not sure what the other one was.
Zebra, maybe?
And now you're telling me it's a zebra. Now I want to go and buy the zebra one. I want to have
the
a whole
one. The full zoo collection.
The full zoo collection. Look at it. It's so cute.
Look how cute that is.
So basically, Uncommon Goods is the go-to place for thoughtful, original gifts for the people in your life. And when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small businesses. They're high quality, handmade, and often made in the U.S. And they have a great heart to their business. They don't sell products that are made from leather, feather, or fur.
It's a Brooklyn-based company that's all about giving back. With every purchase, Uncommon Goods gives $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. And they've donated more than $2.5 million to date.
So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/hoot. Once again, that's uncommongoods.com/hoot to get 15% off your first order.
Uncommon Goods. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. We're all out of ordinary.
And now back to our conversation with the one and only Elle Mills. Wait, so we've hopped quite around from your podcast. So you guys just gab about pop culture.
Yeah, it's different. It depends depending on the guest. We kind of like, for example, Brittany Broski. We had her on. We talked about Harry Styles for the majority of it.
Okay.
So it's just
I
like,
wonder what we're gonna talk
I want to
about.
ask about like, what are you a fan of? I know Lord.
He knows a lot about Disney Channel original movies.
DComs.
Oh my God, yes.
All day.
Okay.
We can discuss
Hell
that
yes.
and go deep. Well, let's talk. I don't want to spoil
Yes.
what the conversation will be, but we definitely got to talk after this.
No, for sure.
So you
Goofy
guys
movie.
Goofy.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Powerline, man.
I mean, I don't know. I just have heard him say all these things a bunch. Disney Channel originals, Goofy
I love
movie.
DComs.
Mike, you wouldn't want on the podcast.
No?
Mike has some missing gap in his childhood where I'm like, did you watch TV?
Yeah, I just missed a lot of it. I didn't really watch. I literally never watched a Disney Channel one time.
What?
Yeah.
Nickelodeon?
Like 2 shows. I watched like Hey Arnold.
Trust me. There's nothing there, Elle. There's nothing
What
there.
did you do? I'm just like.
I was like outside skateboarding,
Oh, cute.
playing, riding bikes. I don't know.
Yeah, you were doing constructive things.
Yes.
I mean, you do have a brilliant mind. Like,
Just-
I wasted a lot of mental energy on.
Like Matt will just say, like, "Oh, have you ever seen this movie that aired on Disney Channel one time in 1997?" And I'm like, no, and he'll just start quoting lines. He's like, no, it's with like Josh Matthews, and I'm like, who is Josh Matthews? And the guy doesn't even have a Wikipedia, but that will be great on your pod. I'm very excited to see what that.
It's gonna be a fun
You were
episode.
born though in 1999.
98.
98.
Okay.
Okay, so I was in kindergarten. I was already doing addition, subtraction. Meanwhile, you're just pooping your diapers.
Yes.
And so there's going to be a little gap, though, I think, in our or there's going to be a weird overlap in our pop culture knowledge. I think.
Yes.
But
No,
you
for
did
sure.
also you went on the BuzzFeed People's podcast and talked about Lizzie McGuire movie.
Oh yes, love. Yes.
The Lizzie McGuire movie.
Yes.
But you were how old though when
I
it came
was
out?
5.
Like what?
I know.
So that's where I'm like,
But
okay.
the culture kind of stays.
you-
I
Like,
feel
you
like
can
because also
still-
reruns happen,
Yeah.
and so it's kind of like it transitions over a little bit, and I like watch back stuff. and,
Okay.
like, yeah.
So then that's good.
Yes.
Then that's good. I think,
I think
we'll have a good dialogue.
yeah, for sure.
I love the Lizzie McGuire movie so
do?
much. Oh yeah.
Yes.
I remember going to Target after the movie and begging my mom just for the CD, the soundtrack.
The soundtrack's so good. Okay, listen. Okay, so you don't know much about the Lizzie McGuire movie. I
No.
talked about this on the Try Guys podcast, but holy shit. Okay, well,
Is
was
it just her singing all the songs, or it's like
No.
other
No,
bands and
it's
stuff?
it's
it's a
like you're a
fucking-
shining star.
yes.
And
It was in theaters. Like it was like
I saw it in theaters. I remember getting
it
chills
was good, man.
after it, and I looked to my friend and I'm like, "We need to do this." Like my best friend, who's a girl, Alicia.
Yeah.
Growing up, I was like, "We like," when they're going down the red carpet, I got like chills, and I'm like, "This needs to be our life." And we got back, and I remember having to download like "Hey Now" off of Napster and Morpheus.
Oh my god, yes.
So you couldn't really get the song, and I printed out the lyrics, and we did a show in my backyard.
fucking
To "Hey
died.
Now, Hey Now, this is what dreams."
Banger song.
Is there a movie growing up or recently that like the universe of that movie is one that you would want to live in?
Living?
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh no. Oh my gosh.
Damn, heavy hitter.
No, it is a heavy hitter, man. Ferris Bueller. I always loved- yeah.
That's
course.
a good universe.
Yes. John Hughes universe in general.
And a lot of times people have like compared you to John Hughes.
Yes, because I mean that's my like favorite director, and I'm like when I first started making like the videos I kind of do now, I was very heavily inspired by Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, because you break the fourth wall.
Yes.
You use a lot of montages. Your music just like carries the momentum of your videos, which is like a great place to be in. And so you would say Ferris Bueller is your favorite John Hughes movie, even though you would want to live in the universe of it?
Yes, I'd say it's my favorite for
Okay.
sure. Yeah,
You know what-
Home Alone's a good one too, but like yeah.
I on Home Alone. So I've been playing like VR a lot, and on Rec Room you can go to the Home Alone house.
No
In VR
way.
world, and it's like the music's playing and stuff, and you can walk around on it.
that's sick.
It's stylized differently, like it's not like the real like
Oh, okay.
in real world footage, but it's really fun to run around in that house. I'm a big Nora Ephron fan. I like you live in John Hughes movies.
Yes.
I live in like a Nora Ephron rom-com.
Oh,
like When
hell
Harry Met
yes.
Sally, Sleepless in Seattle, You've Got Mail.
All bangers.
Classics. Classics.
I feel like we have similar movie tastes.
I think so.
Yeah.
We gotta like swap movies sometimes
Yes.
and write lists for one another.
Favorite movie in the past year?
Past year, ooh, I would say Promising Young Woman. Same.
So good. So good.
I thought it was gonna win.
Yes.
Because I'm like, it's the wild card out of all of these, and it's about a subject that's very true and important that I don't think any Best Picture nom has really touched on. And I just thought like Minari and what was the other one?
Nomadland?
Nomadland were gonna kind of cancel each other out. I'm like, they're
Yeah.
sad, they're true, they're very important as well.
It makes sense that they won though. I'm like, it just like that seems like an Oscar Best Picture, but
Yeah.
because I felt the same way about Jojo Rabbit. I fucked with
you
Jojo.
wanted Jojo Rabbit to win?
Oh yeah.
I really wanted that too, but I was hopeful about Parasite, but
Oh,
I didn't
yes,
think
yes.
I was like, it's gonna win Best Foreign Film for sure.
Yeah.
But it won't win Best Picture because they're not gonna let a foreign film win Best Picture. And they
Iconic.
did.
And then Matt, the night of the Oscars, we were watching at our friend's house, and Matt was like, I would do anything to go to that after party tonight. And
Oh
our friend
my
ended up
God.
getting an access to this after party, and he was like, go home, come back in a tuxedo, and we're going to the thing.
Well, what's funny is I was at I after the Oscars, I went on a date with Patricia, and we were eating burgers, and I get a call from this friend going, "Hey, you're on a date right now with Patricia?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're eating burgers." He goes, we got access to the Parasite party. Get in a tux, but Patricia can't come. And I had to be like, got it. Babe, I'm loving these burgers, but we gotta go and you can't come with me. And she was like, oh my God, I don't care. This is your favorite movie. Go for it. And then right then I was like, you're the one. Like, this is gonna be a great relationship.
That's who did you see?
Okay, so we saw like the entire cast. We saw Bong Joon-ho.
Oh, hell
But
yes.
what's crazy when we were there is also seeing other celebrities like Leon Bridges was there too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was just really, really cool being there
That's
that night.
sick.
And it was historic for a foreign film to win Best Picture. And just all these Korean actors just living the Hollywood
I
dream.
know.
It was really awesome for them. So, yeah,
That's
was really
insane.
cool. So, Elle, you were born in the Philippines,
I was born in the Philippines.
Manila.
Yes.
How long did you live there until you moved to Canada?
I moved around a lot as a kid, but I was only in the Philippines for a year.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I moved to Ottawa, Canada. And then I moved to Taiwan. And then moved back to Canada. Then to Hong Kong. And then back to Canada.
What does your dad do? Or your mom? Or who?
My dad.
Do you work for a government hopping around?
No, he's the CFO of the Canadian Red Cross. So that's what he does. But in Hong Kong, he was like
The Canadian what?
Canadian Red Cross.
Oh, I thought you
They're
said
like
Canadian.
they're the Red
I
Cross,
thought you
but
said the
they're
Canadian-
nicer.
Yeah.
I thought you said the Canadian Rick Ross, and I was like,
Yeah.
I haven't heard about this guy, but sounds like he's
Yeah.
important. Okay, so the Canadian Red Cross.
That's
wow.
what he did in Canada and I think Taiwan. And then Hong Kong, he was like a partner for Ernst, like this, like, I don't know.
Ernst and Young?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, EY?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how do you know that?
Because I went to UT and all my roommates were business
Okay,
majors and now
yes.
they all work for Ernst and Young.
Yeah. So that's what
Okay.
he did in Hong Kong.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you pick up any languages during all that time?
No, it sucks. I mean, my mom's Filipino, so I did Tagalog school like every Saturday growing up. Didn't learn anything. Canada, you're supposed to learn French, as you guys learned Spanish here.
Yes.
My dad's French Canadian. My dad's trilingual actually, because he taught himself Mandarin.
我说中文.
Oh, 我是 Elle Mills.
Oh.
你叫什么名字？
你叫什么名字?
Yeah.
Well, my Chinese name is Jin Saixin.
Oh, mine's Eileen.
Oh, 太好了. Yeah.
Wait, how do you know Chinese?
I studied Mandarin for 2 years in college.
Oh, sick.
Thinking I would get into being a venture capitalist in China because one of my friends' dad did that, was very successful, and they were like, dude, it's great.
Yeah.
And I also feel like Americans do not give enough appreciation to China as like a powerhouse country. We refuse to communicate with them. Is
That's
that
fair
okay?
to say.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
I wanted to challenge myself and my own demographic to learn the language that is globally important. So
That's impressive.
yeah.
Why did you stop?
Well,
This is too
I
hard?
never went to China
Oh,
because
okay.
Vine took off and they were like, move to LA. And I did that.
Yeah.
And I've never been. So now it's just a fun party trick. Or
Yeah.
if ever I'm like in Vegas and our dealer is from China, I can tell because they'll say like the city they're from
Okay,
on their name
gotcha,
tags. Or if I get into a car, I can tell that the Uber driver is Chinese based on the characters. Patricia always thinks I'm just like, jumping the gun.
Stereotyping.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, they're Asian. Ni shuo zhongwen ma. And she goes, you can't do that. I'm like, I know I wouldn't do that. Like, if it's Korean, I can
Imagine.
tell Korean. I can tell the difference.
Yes.
In the characters.
It is not surprisingly easy, but you can tell the difference between Japanese,
Oh.
Chinese, Korean characters.
Absolutely.
With like a little bit of effort and stuff. Like I can definitely tell Korean versus Chinese from going to
Because you're a globally
Korean
aware
has
person.
like a lot of the
a
circles.
lot of circle shapes,
Yes.
a lot of lines. Chinese characters usually a little bit more boxy, a little more complex.
Yes.
Japanese are a
Jesus.
little more artistic
Yes.
looking.
Yes.
You read a lot of anime or like watch like Dragon Ball Z with the subtitles, you'll see.
They honestly look very different.
Yeah, they do.
Once you get like understand
Once
it.
your
yeah.
eyes are trained for it.
Yeah.
Arabic is a language that I would like to learn how to read because it
Damn.
it literally to me like my untrained eye it just looks like squiggles the whole
Yes.
time. But it's a real language.
I heard Arabic out of like when you ask polyglots, people who speak multiple languages, what is your favorite language? They most of the time will say Arabic because it's a really beautiful poetic language when you break down what that phrase actually means. It's hard like in the same way that like Chinese, like the character, like the symbol for good is combined of mother and child. Like those
Oh,
so
wow.
it's nu and z and those two together, mother and child, that means good.
Yes.
That's like really beautiful.
No, I
that like
know.
little etymology of those two radicals together.
We just have like pizza.
Yeah. And that's just an Italian thing that we made our own. Like, so you disappointed your father by not learning as many languages as him.
Literally. I don't know, because my siblings are the same way. All of us can only speak English. And we've been given so many opportunities, but I don't know. I think French would probably be the easiest one for me to use. I've been like down to like Babbel. Is it Babbel?
Yeah.
And Duolingo.
Yeah, I did Duolingo a lot beginning of quarantine. Like that was just like my thing to do. But I don't know. I feel like my brain just is incapable, but
yeah, it's hard. You really have to set the time to do it. But it's good you're making the effort. And I
want
believe
to.
in you.
I feel like it's almost a shame that, I'm like, my mom's Filipino, but dad's French, you know what I mean?
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
I feel like I blame them, to be honest. They didn't, if they had really put it into me, like, at a young age, because isn't it easier to learn a language at, like, when you're, like, a kid?
Yes, 100%.
So, it's their
I feel like that's the thing with a lot of, like, first-generation Americans is, like, their parents wanted to just speak English in the home. They wanted to come and assimilate, but there's a lot of like resent for first generation kids whose parents speak another language and they don't speak it as well as their parents do, just because even in the home they didn't speak it. Like my parents didn't want to speak Hebrew all the time in the house. I understand it and speak it now, but like they only spoke English to me, so I only picked it up from them talking. So I don't know. I think hopefully you're gonna speak Chinese around your kids.
I'll encourage. I think so. Maybe.
That'd be
Patricia will
impressive.
be like, just shut up. Or I'll do it to talk to the kids, and Patricia won't understand what's going on and be like, stop the Mandarin. Tell me what's going on. It's in my code language with my kids. Man, I'm already talking the future tense, so certainly. Did moving around a lot as a kid, do you think shape you into who you are? Because I stayed in the same place the entire time growing up in childhood, and I kind of wish I had a little bit more of a nomadic childhood, and maybe if that would have grown me into a different person.
I definitely think I'm very grateful, because I'm also grateful that it happened before middle school and high school. It was like all like, I think grade 7 is when I kind of stayed put in Canada. And because I feel like that's the hardest time to like make new friends.
Yeah.
And so it's just good to like stay still during those years. And when you're a kid, it's just easier to, I don't know, mingle and stuff. But I'm also like, I don't know. I think having most of my formative years in Hong Kong, I think I'm very grateful for that, because I feel, I don't know, kind of open your eyes in like different perspectives and different cultures, because I went to international school. So like, just like being exposed to all of that.
Yeah.
It's just like, and being able to like, for example, like when I want to go on vacation, like when I lived in Hong Kong, we would go to Thailand or like to the Philippines, you know what I mean? So it was just like being able to see all of that at such a young age.
You already got a lot of dots on your map.
Exactly.
You know? Your
Your
wanderlust is already kind of matured.
And you feel like you're like a citizen of planet Earth, not like a citizen of, Dallas, Texas or New Jersey. Like you have this international worldview of life and people, and you don't feel restricted by like your hometown.
Yes.
Because your hometown is the planet.
And that's why I feel like I really loved my hometown for so long. I still do, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I had like such a strong love for it, because I feel like a lot of people who born and raised there, maybe they don't feel, they're like, it's just like, I want to get out of here kind of feeling.
Right.
But I definitely like for a long time held on to my hometown. I was like, these are like, I don't know, it's like actual home. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
In Ottawa, Canada?
Ottawa, Canada.
I've never been.
Not much going on. I mean, it's the capital of Canada.
Right.
Yes.
So if I ever did go to Ottawa,
That's like the brochure. Not much going on, but it's the capital.
I know, but the thing is, it's like everyone who, like, if I talk to Canadian and they're like from Toronto, I'm like, I'm from Ottawa. They're like, oh. You know, because we got Parliament. It's a very government city, so it's just
It's like being from like Washington D.C. or something.
Yeah, but not like Washington D.C. is cool. I feel like
yeah,
it's cooler. There's more
Canadian
more things
Parliament
to see.
is not.
It's
not a vibe.
It's not a vibe. It's really old looking, and I don't know, kind of dull. It's like it's not a pretty colored. Yeah.
If I were there and I texted you, what should I do? Where should I go? What would you say?
I would hope you were there during the winter, because actually we have the longest skating rink. It's called the the canal. Oh my god, it's a canal.
It's okay.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm really blanking, but it's like the Ottawa River, the Rideau River, and it's when it during the winter it freezes, and you can skate on it and get a beaver tail, which is like a nice Canadian.
Does it loop around?
Wait,
Yes.
what's a beaver tail?
It's a Canadian dessert. It's like a pastry, kind of like a flat sugar donut, but kind of in the shape of a beaver tail.
A beaver tail. Like okay,
Fire.
a beaver tail is like a
It's kind of just
like
like
a teardrop
yes.
thing, and you buy it.
Wow.
And it
You go skating all around it. You can go
Yeah,
set up.
and you buy it.
and then you take it with your hands, you unwrap it, and you put it in your mouth, you chew.
and you say yum. Do you dip it in anything?
There's different flavors. The original is just like cinnamon,
Okay,
which I like.
So I'll go for cinnamon.
Yes.
I'll go around the
You
river.
skate, you can-
canal.
Yeah, you skate on the river.
Hold on. Explain this to me. Wait. There and back, or it's like a lazy
I'm gonna
river
be
ice
honest,
skating rink?
I don't know because I don't skate.
Oh.
I'm like the worst Canadian. I cannot skate. So every time I've gone on, I kind of just skate up to the beaver tail thing and then just go off.
I'm just here for the tail. Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
Do you live in LA now?
I do.
How long have you been living in LA?
Okay, so I moved here December 2019.
Okay.
But then
Oh.
beginning of so
Rough timing.
because I was like traveling a lot. I was in New York with Chris Clemens because I was there for a shoot, and that was right. Like I saw the last Broadway show before it shut down, Mean Girls. It was crazy.
I
And
like the main girl on Mean Girls Broadway. I haven't even seen the show,
I
but
saw
she's
Sabrina
on TikTok
Carpenter.
and she's like,
Oh yeah.
really cool. I don't know. She just sings so effortlessly.
I didn't see her. I saw Sabrina Carpenter's run. She only had 2 shows, and so, anyways, it got shut down, and I was like, okay, everything's shutting down. The production, because I was doing a show, and it got shut down. I was like, I'm near my hometown because it's near New York. I went back, and I got stuck in Canada for like 4 months.
Oh.
It's like stuck. It was just like at that time, no one.
Everyone was stuck.
We
Yeah.
were like, what do we do? And then I found out like with my visa and the border was closed like driving, but they kind of like they were like really weird about how they were saying it, but basically you could fly back, but they weren't like really promoting that you could fly back easily from Canada to the US, if that makes sense, because they were like the borders are shut. That's what they kept on saying, right?
Yeah, you couldn't
drive
Yes.
out.
What's your go-to order at a Wendy's?
My go-to order in Canada was this is the Baconator with poutine, because you could get poutine as a side there.
Is that how you pronounce it in Canada?
well,
Poutine?
Not poutine?
okay, so if you're from Quebec and Ottawa's like on the border of Quebec, and so the French.
Is that how you
Canadians-
pronounce Quebec?
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
Quebec, it's Quebec.
Quebec? Oh my
In
god!
America, we say Quebec.
We're adding all
Oh
of
my
this.
god!
Like,
Well, maybe you're right.
No. Canadians say
you're
Quebec.
right. You're right.
But in America, everyone says Quebec.
Quebec.
Because it's like a question, so it's like Quebec.
and I thought it was more
Quebec.
like French, like Quebec.
No, well,
That makes sense.
That might
Actually,
be how you
now,
say it
like-
in France, but Quebec is how Canadians say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope.
And then they
Because
You're
I
the
don't-
Canadian.
I know, but I mean, I also like I don't know. Maybe I pronounced it wrong. But also, like, if you go to Toronto, everyone's gonna say poutine. Just so you know, like,
Also-
And if you go to
They-
Russia, they're
well-
like Putin.
The people in Toronto don't pronounce the second T. Toronto. Americans say Toronto, and
Toronto,
they say
yeah.
Toronto.
Whoa, you guys, Toronto.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that's how you can tell if someone's Canadian or not. They say, "Oh yeah, I'm from Toronto." They say it
Whoa.
without the hard T at the end, but Americans say Toronto. Anyway, so
Dude,
Quebec,
yes.
Toronto,
Putin.
Dude, I
poutine.
honestly
Wait, what? How do you pronounce it?
Putin.
Oh,
Interesting. Okay.
Vladimir.
Putin.
You're really trying to snort this.
Okay, so
joke. Okay, so you put the Baconator with
Oh, Putin, yes, and then a Coke. That's what I used to get. And if I was really, I mean, I used to just like munch and like maybe like some nuggets or something, but I haven't had Wendy's in a really long time.
Well,
Do you love Wendy's?
Oh, I love Wendy's.
Wendy's
a
is
lot.
honestly like, as for fast food, you get great portions. I find, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Elle Mills for Wendy's. You get great portions, I find. Check out Wendy's at your local Quebec. Get some poutine.
I met Wendy. I
No
met
way.
the Wendy
The most
at
visited?
UT, Texas, in Austin. We have one of the most visited Wendy's in the entire
Oh,
country.
shit, okay.
So Wendy's really loves UT, and make sure that they always have these big giveaways and these big trucks that come and these huge exhibits. One day in college, I was just Googling about Wendy's. I'm like, who is Wendy? And it's this woman, Wendy Thomas, who's the daughter of that white-haired guy. A bunch of business executives were walking around like the pop-up they were having for Wendy's. And sure enough, I just spot her while I was in line to get like the Dave's Classic. And I'm like,
what she looks like?
yes, because I remember Googling what Wendy
I think I know because she was in a
like.
commercial.
Yes.
Yes.
She must be older now, though. No.
Yes.
She's like a
Yeah.
Is she like an old lady, like with white hair, gray hair? Or she's like
strawberry blonde.
Okay.
Woman.
So still somewhat recognizable.
But she's walking around with all the business executives, and nobody realizes this is the Wendy.
And why is she the logo of the?
Because he named it after his daughter.
Oh, so Wendy is the daughter of the proprietor.
Yes.
Of
Who
the Wendy's
you always
stuff.
see when you walk into a Wendy's. He's like the white-haired
I've
guy
never
who
been
has the
inside a
glasses. You're missing out. Anyways, she's walking by, and I'm like, Wendy? You're Wendy. And she's like, I am. And all the students, everyone's like, oh my gosh. Like, they didn't realize like who she was, and all the business
And you
executives
pointed
are
it
like,
out?
Wendy,
Yeah.
you're getting recognized. I was like the person to be like, you're the Wendy.
Wow.
She
And I
probably
got a
fucking
picture
loved
of me and Wendy.
Do you have a picture?
Yeah, we can roll it right here.
Do you have it?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
It's probably a picture where I'm smiling so big. It's my biggest smile of how happy I was.
it's like meeting Lord.
To meeting Lord. Oh, that's a close call on how big my smile was in both of those photos. Are you still rocking that Coca-Cola shirt?
No, I'm not.
Do you still have them?
I have a bunch. Yeah.
Is there a story?
Yes, there is a story.
Okay.
So I don't know. I feel like all moms are like this. My mom one year for I think Christmas or my birthday got me a Coke shirt, and I was like, I really like this shirt. And she just every Christmas and every birthday would always just get me a Coke shirt. And so I just had like a collection of Coke shirts, and so I just had one to wear for like every day of the week.
Cool.
And, yeah. And that's it. That's the story.
Did you have any awkward phases growing up? Did you like get into some weird phase? Like, did you ever go through a horse girl phase?
Oh my gosh. I had a really bad phase in high school. I was a huge Glee stan account.
Oh boy.
But-
and it counts.
Yes. No, I had the Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, YouTube channel, like full on. But this is the worst part, the couple, Will Schuester and Emma Pillsbury, like the teachers. I shipped them as a couple. And so for 6 years of my life, I like made fan videos, fan fiction. Like it was like intense.
Fan videos, like
Yes.
Like editing clips of them
visuals
with-
with your
Honestly, they're pretty
commentary.
fucking good, to be honest. Because they actually kind of it's honestly how I kind of started YouTube, because I used to make trailers, like movie trailers for the couple, Will and Emma. And when I first started doing YouTube, how I got my like first 10,000 was I used to do like gender bend trailers, like I did if Stranger Things were a romantic comedy. And
Right, yeah,
Yes.
you kind of like
you would re-edit
them and
to like change the genre,
Yes.
genre bending
Yes,
trailers.
yes.
genre bending.
yes,
And
yes.
did you say gender bending
I
at first when
don't
it was
know
coming
what
out
I
of your
just-
mouth? I was
yes.
like, I don't know what I just heard.
Did any of them ever pop off and get like a lot of views?
Not the Will and Emma ones. They weren't really the most popular couple on the show.
Did you have like a popular video before you were Elle Mills that like went
I
a little
mean,
viral?
I guess the trailers, because I wasn't really in them.
Have you seen the trailer of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but it's re-edited as like a dramatic, serious
No.
teen coming of age?
It's really
We're
good.
watching that right after
Okay,
this.
yes,
Okay,
down.
I can't wait to show you that, because if you're already a fan of that movie, it makes you like appreciate the movie even more in like
Yeah?
a different light. Like it gives you chills. How well just a genre bending edit can be.
Yes.
There's also if Seinfeld was Twin Peaks. I don't know if these are things
I
that you
mean,
guys know about.
I don't know Twin Peaks that well, but I know Seinfeld.
I
Cheeks.
tried to get into Twin Peaks.
It's really cool.
I really
Yeah?
wanted to like it.
I've heard good things.
They should just re-score the show, and I feel like I would like
That's
it.
okay. We'll get it anyway. So you made these Glee supercuts
Yeah. I was
for
like,
6 years.
I was like a huge Glee stan. Like I would be like looking up the spoilers. Like I remember Glee ended my senior year of high school, and I cried the entire week at school. It was
Did you have
pretty
to like
bad.
bid farewell to like the
Yeah, I
fandom?
literally like. Well, I was like it was like all happy because I also really loved high school, so it just felt like everything was ending and it like it felt like my life was over.
But that's I used to watch Lost when I was in high school.
Oh, yes.
And there was when Lost was ending too, there was a lot of articles and like ideas where, especially for younger people, you know, you spend 5-6 years in a series like with these characters. For some people, that's the longest relationship they've ever had with another human being.
Yeah.
Is this TV show. Like 6 years is long. You know, high school is only 4 years. If you and you know, a lot of people make new friends in high school. You're sort of like ending a relationship and you only see them once a week because back then you weren't just going on Netflix and watching the entire season. It took literally years to get through a season. So.
And you're still recovering from.
I mean,
the
I'm out of it now. But honestly, for a couple of years, it was a little tough. I was like, I haven't watched. I actually cannot watch a show.
Isn't it kind of weird though? Now people are revisiting Glee and seeing like how problematic it was. You're like, they said what?
Crazy.
Is it problematic?
They got away with some stuff that definitely couldn't fly today, but they were also very like inclusive of every types of walks of life on the show, which is great. But like the characters are sometimes just really crass and blunt with one another. You're like,
No, for sure. Honestly, the juiciest part I feel like is all the behind the scenes stuff, like the actors, like crazy things.
like what, they didn't get along, or they all had like hidden relationships.
Michelle, like, didn't you hear like she like completely got canceled because she was like an actual bully on set, and like
no.
And I mean, like, first of all, 3 of the main cast members have died in like very weird. Do you guys not know this?
Well,
Corey
I
Monteith
do know.
heroin.
I read
Yes, I went to his
High
house.
School Musical.
I went to his house.
No
I
way.
think it was Halloween, one of the first Halloween I ever had in LA. It was a party at his house.
Holy shit!
Where I don't think he died in that house, but it was his
he
former
wasn't
house.
there, though.
No, he wasn't there,
Oh.
but he had just died. So it was just like some startup had bought the house and was like hosting like this
And
Halloween
did they advertise
party.
it as Corey Monteith?
No, but when we were there, that was being talked about. Like, this is where sorry, I don't know his name.
Corey Monteith.
Yes.
Yes.
That's where we were in his house.
That's crazy.
I don't know all the Glee stuff because I was running a High School Musical Stan account during this.
Me too, though. I love High School
What a
Musical.
full-time business though between all of those accounts. That must have been
Yes.
like a lot of stress and work to
When
keep
you're in
up
high
with.
school, you can get away with that though.
Oh, I
Because
know.
like you're done school like 2-3 o'clock. That's so much time in the day
The
before you go to bed.
summers,
Yeah.
honestly.
I was like that with MySpace though. I would make layouts for local bands. I would make like banner GIFs and stuff. And I used to have whore trains.
What?
Wait, what?
Whore trains. It was this way of like getting a lot of friends on MySpace. You would code, like they would have these bulletins.
Didn't
which
you
were
want to
like
get famous on
statuses.
MySpace?
Oh, I dreamed about it, but I wasn't like emo or scene enough. But a bunch of emo and scene kids would have these things called whore trains, as bad as that sounds, where you would have like different tiers on it of when people joined, and if you're at the top, you could click the picture and add that friend like through like a embedded hyperlink in it. It was a lot of coding that went into it.
Okay.
But I would just make these whore train bulletins and I'd put them out for my friends to get a lot of friends
This
on
is
MySpace.
I completely miss MySpace. Like, I think it was
You missed out.
Yeah, it's the end of that.
I don't think it was pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
But it taught you how to code. I didn't realize
you
what
did.
I was doing was
Yeah.
computer science.
Yeah.
If
Like,
you wanted to like change your background image or like add music or change like the fonts, you would have to go into the HTML code, and they gave you the access to your profiles like code, so you can change the HTML or the PHP of like
Damn.
your MySpace page, and that's how you got like GIFs for backgrounds or different colored fonts.
it's
So
pronounced GIF, by the way.
I'm not doing this again.
GIF. It is GIF.
It
It's
is
not GIF. It's GIF.
How?
Because the term is graphical. That's what the G stands for. It's graphics, not graphics.
The creator says it's
GIF.
pronounced GIF like the peanut butter. Can you just respect
Yeah.
the creator?
I respect the. If you look up lexicological phenomenons, the way that language develops is by what the most used version of a phrase or a word is. So by going against the grain, you're actually impeding on the progress of language. So don't go against the grain when it comes to language.
Wait, do more people say
More
GIF?
people say GIF than GIF.
And they're wrong.
Who like? What are the facts behind that?
You and what army?
Yeah.
Let's okay.
Sound off in the comments, guys. Is it GIF or GIF?
Here's a Glee question.
Okay, yes.
We recently found out that our friend Phineas
Yes.
was on the show.
Yes, I do remember that.
Was he a big character on the show?
He was in season 6, but I really
Season 6.
6. That's the
Episode
last
3.
season, which is like they didn't even do the full run. It was 13 episodes for the last season.
So was that like
She's
very...
like Rain Man. She's like, it was season 6, episode 15.
And I forget his name. I know the actor's name is, I think, Marshall, but it was one of the newer characters, and he played his boyfriend or like his love interest. I remember.
Phineas did?
Yeah, he had long hair.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
I know. I was watching Bad Teacher the other day, and like Phineas was in it. I'm like,
Really?
Well,
Wait,
he's in Bad
that?
Teacher. He's like one of the kids in the class.
Oh no way.
Yeah. She throws Cameron Diaz throws a dodgeball at Phineas's face. Yeah.
Damn, I got to watch that back because I do remember that movie.
Oh yeah, it's a treat.
Yes.
Do you still go back and watch Glee? Like during quarantine, did you like go back and rewatch the series to
I
relive?
can't rewatch it because I feel like I watched it so many times in high school that like
It's not even...
it doesn't even feel nostalgic. It's just like
You burned it out.
Yes,
Are the
exactly.
accounts still up there?
Yeah, but they're privated.
Okay, yeah.
No, yeah. The YouTube videos, I guess you could still watch. They're pretty big.
Are
Right.
they by Elle Mills or...
No, it's under Schuster Pillsbury.
What is it?
Schuster Pillsbury. Those are the last names.
Oh,
of the
right.
characters.
Of the teachers you were
Yes,
shipping
yes.
together.
Which
Did-
is so weird. I don't know. I have to unpack that because I keep thinking about everyone's like, so you were 12 and you a high school show you shipped the teachers together. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. He's really drawn to them. I was really into 30-year-olds, I guess.
The genre bending trailers is real. I love that whole like segment of YouTube where they do that. They'll turn like, I don't know, Home Alone into a horror movie.
Game
like,
of Thrones
Yes.
into like
A
a
romantic
fun
comedy.
indie film. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who have you been watching on YouTube lately, or who are you watching the most?
I don't really watch too much YouTube anymore, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I went through a phase where I really watched a lot of Joe Rogan podcasts.
Oh
and
yes,
stuff.
same.
Yeah.
Now I don't listen to Joe Rogan at all. But
I
in
know.
college, I was like all about it, and then it became every like straight
Yeah.
white dudes like go to.
I
like,
know.
have you listened to Joe Rogan, man?
Yeah,
he
yeah.
makes some interesting points, bro. But
Yeah, I guess him, and then I don't know. I don't really watch too much YouTube, to be honest.
What do
I
you
complete-
watch?
I watch a lot of movies, and I guess that's it. I don't really watch too much stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I kind of like, I a year ago kind of distanced myself and removed myself from like social media and stuff, and so I just kind of like completely wiped everything. And just wanna,
I'm kind of like the same way. Like,
Yeah.
even like videos or vlogs that I'm in with like my friends, I don't watch
Yes.
it. I don't like let it be, and that lives on there, and those people enjoy it. And then also even like certain friends I know separately as creators, like I already know you in real life. Like I get like the Elle Mills in person, so I haven't watched actively like every single one of your videos. But there's that weird kind of like distance that we put on ourselves when we get online. We're like, I know them, and I know it's a great video.
Yeah, even like I guess also being in the community, it's kind of hard to watch videos of creators that you kind of just know like through like another person, and you hear stories, and you're like, oh, it's just kind of like I don't know, kind of. It's not the same. Watching YouTube videos now isn't the same as watching them when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I know.
Which kind of sucks, but
But I like just like YouTube channels that like, you know, aren't like too much creator based, but are just really interesting about a specific thing. Like the JCS psychology, the criminal psychology guy who's been making these videos where he'll break down confession videos of like a murderer or like a mass killer
Yes.
and show where they go wrong in the interrogation room. And the videos are like an hour and 30 minutes. And I am hooked watching
would
a
watch
YouTube
that.
video that long.
The one that like blew up was it was like explaining how people can get away with claiming the insanity clause
like
for committing
faking crazy.
and like
oh,
yeah,
yes.
so the
I feel like I
difference
saw that in my recommended
yeah,
actually.
it's
Yes,
watch
yes.
it.
going bananas on YouTube now. Yeah.
Yeah, I highly recommend that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no genre bending Glee trailers, but
No, I love true crime.
Yeah.
Bad. I don't. Yeah. I'd like.
I think it's one
Wait,
of the
you
most
feel
popular
bad for
genres.
loving?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not saying I love when bad things
Yeah,
happen,
no,
but you
yes.
like a good
genre.
Yeah, but I think
documentary.
because I don't like horror or all that, but I love true crime.
Yeah.
It's like weird. Like I mean I like have you guys seen Don't Fuck with Cats? The Netflix?
Yes,
I've watched that like a couple times because
a
it's just
couple times.
it's just so well made.
yes, and they find the best discovery in the story. I
Yes.
love like a true crime documentary that sets out for one thing and then discovers even more behind it.
Yes.
Have you seen The Imposter on Netflix?
Yes. I've watched that a couple times. It's just like really well done. That's not even true crime though. It's like kind of just like really. Well, it is, I guess. Kind of just really fucked up.
What's the Robert Durst one called? On
Making
HBO?
a Murderer?
No, the one where they like caught him in the documentary. Robert Durst.
Wait, are you talking about is it the one who killed his wife?
They caught him on his mic. Yes, he killed his wife.
Yes. Well, okay. I know the Ryan Gosling.
All Good Things
yes,
with
yes.
Kirsten Dunst.
I did watch because my friend showed me that, like the mic.
The
Jinx.
Jinx. The Jinx.
Yes.
The Jinx is one of my favorites, for sure.
No,
And
that's just
then,
crazy.
Have you ever murdered anyone?
Have not yet.
So you're working on the rom-com. You got your podcast. What else do you got like planned for the future that you are brewing on?
I mean, like right now, I'm like I've always it's always been a dream to write and direct my first short film.
Ooh.
So I'm like I wrote it last year, and now I'm kind of like I really want to go in production with it this summer and kind of premiere it at like Buffer Festival or something.
Wow.
And so I'm doing rewrites right now, and I'm excited because I've never done something like that. But I think it's like a exciting new project. I've always wanted to do it, and I think I don't know. I think it's just it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know what I mean?
I believe it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be amazing. Like,
are you gonna hire get a production company, or are you gonna try and do it like a little more indie YouTube
a little
style?
more indie. I'm gonna have Mikey Murphy.
Yes.
So he's gonna produce it for me. I feel like I'm friends with like a lot of actor pals. So
the network is like already
I know,
there.
exactly. So
you need a tall blonde guy.
hell yes.
And if you need a short
cute
Jewish guy.
from Jersey, we're right here. You know,
Perfect. But yeah, that's what I guess working on outside of YouTube.
dope. And I can't wait to be on your podcast
Oh my god, it's gonna be fun.
on this Monday.
Yes.
Well, but it will come out later.
Yes,
Get
I'm
ready.
pre-recording a lot because I'm like going to Florida next week and then Austin the week after.
Same.
So,
I got
yeah.
like a big trip planned too, so I gotta hammer out as many as we can.
Is there
Yes.
anything you'd like to plug for the audience?
I guess the podcast is youtube.com/crazystupidfangirls, available on all podcast platforms. And you can check out my video with Brittany Broski on my channel youtube.com/Elle of the Mills.
So, well, Elle, I'm so happy you came by. We gotta hang out more.
Yes, please.
For sure. I gotta show you the Ferris Bueller Sean
Yes.
Reventing trailer after this. And
Elle Mills, everybody.
Elle Mills.
Thank you so much, guys.
Love you, dog.
Yay!